welcome back. I'm Pete, and you're watching the Custom Car Channel.
Brought it to me last night, and he said it's got a little hitch in its video.
Just needed more power.
She don't move. Gonna have to heat it.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Today's Saturday, and I already went on a service call this morning. Guy wanted me to look at his air compressor. It's got a blown head gasket. So, the same guy has a lawnmower he dropped off yesterday, and I told him I'd look at that right after the air compressor. So, here we are, and I got to get that done before noon, because I got another car coming in. Anyways, I just thought I'd do a video. I don't have a video yet for today, and we're just gonna, I'm just gonna work on this lawnmower. I don't know anything about it. He said it's sat for a couple of years. It's a Husqvarna with Honda engine. And I don't have any Honda oil, but we could change it and put some Briggs oil in there or something, or some other kind of oil. I'll look it up. I don't know if it needs an oil change, but let's bring it in. I see there's a little piece broke on there, and we're gonna fix that too. Whoa. Alright, she looks pretty good. I'm an old guy, so I don't like going down on the floor working, and so I just put a couple boards on there and we'll lift it up. I haven't had one fall off yet, but it could. Alright, let's lift this bad boy up. Alright, I think that's high enough. That's pretty high. This will make it really easy for me to get this blade off. We don't have to take it off. She's pretty good. Let's make sure, yeah, the engine's not locked up. There is some grass under here. Okay. We'll just give her a check over on the bottom. Yeah, everything looks good to me. Let me look up here. There's a belt. Built all looks okay. I'm not worried about anything under here, so now we can lower it back down. He doesn't need any perfect edge blade sharpening today. My dad used to sharpen the blades, and that's what we called it. I just kept it. One more thing, I'm going to look for an oil drain. I don't think there is one on a Honda engine. You got to tip these things over. Yeah, there's no drain under the bottom. I mean, the Briggs, at least you got an oil drain, huh? They were smart enough to do that. At least on the older ones. I think some of the newer ones, they do not. So that looks good to me. I can see one thing when I was letting it down. I believe the fuel valve, I believe that's open. So, I think the first thing we'll do is we'll take the bowl off the carburetor, take a look in there, drain the gas, pull the plug, look at that. We'll look at the oil. There could be an oil drain up here. No, I'm not seeing any oil drains on these. We'll have to tip it over. I'm not going to have it on the lift for that because it will fall off. I'll just tip it on its side and we'll catch it all and clean up the mess. Right here, yeah, this is broken. I'm going to fix that because I can. So it looks like you push this inward. That's not too bad. We'll blow it out. Maybe we'll just get rid of this this housing so we can work on that carburetor easily. And I'm going to weld that. I think we'll put some staples in it. That's what I'll do. Alright, so first, I'm going to use my 10-piece CTA socket set. They're all 10 millimeters. There's 10 of them. Comes with a nice little tray. I'll put a link down in the description for you guys. So I think we'll just grab one of these. We could grab the magnetic one, and I'm just gonna buzz these out. There's a little breather hose back there. There we go. And the gasket fell off. It's got a couple gaskets on there. So I think for right now, let's put these bolts, just start them back in there. Alright, let's fix this really quickly. So I'll show you my kit. I'll link this down in the description too. This is just a cheap one. I don't remember the number offhand. So it comes with a bunch of staples. Just a couple things we need to weld this on. I don't know if that's welding to fix the plastic. So it is at a 90-degree angle where we gotta fix this. And I don't have, the kit doesn't have any 90-degree angles, and I tried to bend some over. It just doesn't work. So we're just gonna do the best we can. I got to plug in on the motor of my hoist there, the pump motor. So I think I'm just going to use the ones I always use, which are these small wiggly ones. Like first we'll try to just put this back to where it goes. It is kind of stretched. Yeah, it has seen better days. So I think I'll melt it in like this. And I'm just going to give her a little preheat. Then I'm going to give it a little twist. I'm going to let that set up good. It's a little soft. Alright, let's put another one in the other side. I'd like to get two on each side. I just don't know. Yeah, I can get in right here. This is kind of thin plastic. And we need to do more on this one. It is pretty solid. I think I'm going to heat this one up again and twist it a little more. So I'll just put the tool back on it. And then press the trigger and heat it up. There we go. Now I'm thinking we can get one more there and maybe one there. I don't know if it's going to be perfect, but it's going to be better than what it was. I mean, I'll try to go on the inside a little bit. Alright, let's try one more. I just like to fix things. Well, that one melted in really nicely. Alright, let's let that harden up a second, and then we're going to cut them off. Alright, let's see if we can cut these off without destroying them. They're destroying the cover. And I think we're going to have to grind them, or else it'll have sharp edges. I'm using one of my homemade flush cutters. And these damn little staples are stainless steel, I believe, because the magnet won't pick them out. Oh yeah, that's solid. We've done a good job. Alright, I'm going to go get the grinder and throw these in the steel. So to smooth that off so they're not sharp, I use a little flapping wheel. So a lot of times I'll take some PVC cement. I don't think I will on this one. It's solid. It probably will break again, but I think we're good. Yeah, I like that little tool. I use it a lot. Alright, so our first little repair is done. So let's take this carburetor apart. It looks like I'm gonna have to take it right off and clean it. Because it's got a lot of stuff on it. I think we'd be better off just to take it off and shut the fuel off. See if I can get that hose off there. You guys probably can't see. I think I got it. I'm gonna go get a little cup so we can take a sample. So here's a little measuring cup I use in the shop. It's glass, so I tend to break glass a lot, like if it's a little novelty like this one. But this one comes in handy. Alright, let's open that valve. It doesn't smell too bad. It doesn't look too bad. I think we could try this gas. It just smells a little, not as rich. I think we could try it. I think it'll burn. Alright, let's just take the bottom of that carburetor. Let's take the carburetor off and we'll clean it up. So first I'm going to loosen this because sometimes they're pretty tight. And this one wasn't bad. So now I think there's just one linkage left. So if we take these two bolts out, big old gasket. So there's a little spring here. So there's the spring. There we got it off. So I'm just going to grab my pan. We'll do it right here. I'd like to get this gasket off of there. I'm going to go get a razor blade. That'll help me get it off, or I'm going to get something. So I found an old kitchen knife or steak knife. This one's really thin. I mean really thin. So I'm just going to try to sneak that gasket off of there. So it's only sticking right where the bolt holes are. There, we succeeded, and the gasket's not damaged one bit. So we just gotta not forget to put that back on. So I do smell a little bad gas now. Well, I think there's some water in there. Yeah, this is definitely bad in the carburetor. Okay, I'm gonna go dump that sample, and we'll take a new sample. Yeah, this gas in here is really bad. So I can smell the turpentine smell, and you can see that's completely bad. So we're doing the right thing. I'm gonna go save this for the guy. So next what we'll do, I always like working on carburetors in my pan. So yeah, well, I meant to say we're just gonna knock that off there. Okay, so a lot of times if you're using an ethanol gas, the float will be stuck. I'm gonna have to get my light because I can't see. I want to verify if it's stuck or not. The needle for the float. Putting my reading glasses back on. These are just some 1X's, and I seem to, it must be my cell phone, I'm telling you, or the computer all the time, because I had perfect vision, but over the last 5 years of using the computer, I do a lot of programming too, so I can't see things, my computer screen or stuff close up anymore, but I can with these glasses. Alright, the little float is not stuck. We should be able to slide this, the needle is not stuck. We should be able to slide this pin out. We'll just throw that in there. The needle looks good. Everything is looking pretty good, besides that jet in there. So I'm going to get a screwdriver, and I'm going to take this with me just a second so I can select the right screwdriver bit. Well, I don't think I need to do that. I know which one I need. Alright guys, I finally did find my bit. It was in my service truck, and it shouldn't have been in there because it's kind of a special one. So, well, here comes somebody racing down the road. What do we got here? It's a Dodge. It's a Dodge Ram. It might have been just a Dodge. Looked like an older one, but I think what did they switch in 2010 or 11? But this bit, I don't think I could replace it today, and if I did, I would have a hard time finding it, and I don't know where I got it, but I know what I use it for, and I use it for these carburetors. It's enough talking, come on, man. And usually they're tight, but this one was not. So we can go ahead and take this bit off. Just use it by hand. And this carburetor stinks like turpentine. Okay, I think this is one we got to screw all the way out. So you need the right screwdriver so you don't damage these threads. Because if you do, you'll have a hard time getting this out. I'm kind of having a hard time, but I have not damaged the threads. They probably got a little gunk on them. So it doesn't look too bad in there. Here's the little jet. Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but she's completely plugged. I'm going to get something else for you guys. That baby is completely plugged. Alright guys, this jet is completely plugged. So I'm going to show you how to clean it first. First we're going to, I just got a little bit left in this can I got to use up. We'll just get her soaking, and that's why I like to use this pan, because then everything else can soak in here and get sprayed down while I'm doing this one. There's a little piece right on my finger right there, a little piece of green that came out of there. I don't know what that is. That's almost like a plastic. No, it's actually corrosion, green corrosion. I cannot blow through it. Alright, we got this can gone. So what I like to use is a torch tip cleaner, and I got a new one, but I'm trying to use up this old one, and I'll probably never get it used up, but we'll just start with a small one. Usually these jets are pretty small, so we're good with this cleaner. Some motorcycle jets are very tiny. Like the tiniest one in this set will not go through. So now we got a hole back through, and I usually don't like to bore them out, but sometimes I do. This one we will not. So we're just going to clean all the corrosion. Let's get some more carburetor cleaner on it. Good thing I got my glasses on, because I just got it in the face. So we're going to need a little wire brush. I'll go get one of those now. So I think this little brass one will work just fine. Let's get all this green off here, and we'll kind of jam it in there and twist it. You don't get that green off there, and she'll come back. She'll plug up again. That's what's wrong with my my old rider out there, my Murray. The new engine I put on there has a fuel solenoid in the bottom of the carburetor, and it's gunked up down inside there. I'm going to have to let that solenoid sit in some carburetor cleaner or get a new one. So I do have some more small wire brushes, but this one's working. We may have to get them out for the other part. So I'm pretty happy this is turning out pretty good now. Alright, we'll just let that down in there. I'm going to go get another little wire brush. So these are some soldering tools. This one's really good, but I've used it so much, the wire brush part of it's really bad. I just bought this one, and it's very cheap, and I've already ruined that one. So next, we want to get some carburetor cleaner in here. I'm going to try to hit that center of that other jet up in there. The other jet doesn't come out. Okay, now I'm gonna scrub inside here. Now this new one I bought, it's very cheap, but I could not find one of these other ones like this one. And this one's a name brand. It's been used in carburetor cleaner too much. So I'm just going to stick this in here. There we go. So next, here's a screw that does something. Let's take that out. So basically what you want to do is just take everything apart that you can possibly take apart, and then clean everything. And then we'll blow it out with compressed air. Alright, so I believe this is the idle jet in here. It looks like it's pressed in. There's no screwdriver slot, so we'll just spray it out. We'll try the torch tip cleaner on this one a little bit too. Well, it's a jet for something, but I don't know what. Okay, so be careful if you got a gasket stuck on like this side. Let's spray some down the needle seat. Alright, so this is clean. Let's just set that over here. Let's make sure this fuel ball's, yeah, it's just green inside. So we will need the wire brush for this one. Alright, I think these pieces are ready. Let's just set them over here. So the next step is we need to blow this all out. Sometimes it's nice when you're doing carburetors to have a rubber tipped blowgun. I don't think we need that for this one. I'm just going to use a regular one. Sometimes there's a check ball down in them holes, so gotta be careful. I don't think there was on this one. And there's a couple passages in here. I got you guys. Okay, so I think this is ready. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to put some of this stuff over here. So I'm going to grab, we'll just put it back together in reverse order. So I'll grab this little screw that we took out, blow it off. You do want to be careful. Like me, I'm fine. But if you got carburetor cleaners and brake cleaners on your fingers and you're not using gloves, you don't want to blow too hard. You can impregnate yourself with whatever you're blowing off. Some blowers at some shops have to be checked to see how much pressure they have. I have a couple ones that were considered OSHA unsafe. And I don't think there was a gasket on there. I don't see one in the pan. So we're done with the torch tip cleaner and these wire brushes. I'll just get these out of the way. So it's pretty straightforward. Just clean everything. That's important on the jets, to get all the gunk out. I know on my motorcycle that is a pain to clean them carburetors. Our gasket looks good here. Alright, so next let's put this jet in. I think that's the main jet. So we'll grab that out of here. We'll blow some air through it. I'm going to inspect it. Alright, that looks clean. So we'll put that back in. And you know what I did with the screwdriver bit? I left it right here in the pan in the carburetor cleaner. so I can read it. It says USA on this side. So it's SDM 316. I don't know what that means. It just works really good for carburetor jets. I don't think it's the right taper, but it works good. And this jet wasn't very tight, but we're going to tighten it tighter. So it looks like we got a little more time. My customer just stopped in and said he's not coming till 3. Alright, there we go. You don't want to get too carried away, and you want to hold your screwdriver very straight. You could break one of those ears off. I had a guy come in with a snowmobile carburetor. He broke an ear off, but I was able to get it out. So next we're going to put the needle in and the float. I'm going to spray the float off. Just going to kind of rub it with my fingers as I'm spraying it. Yeah, it's got a bunch of goo on it. I'll bring it over here so you guys can see maybe. So I'm just going to rub it with my fingers and spray the goo off. Okay, so that's good. I'm going to blow it. I'm going to blow it with the air gun. Next I'm going to find the needle and the pin. Okay, I just double checked. There's no little gasket in that pan for that screw. I didn't see one on there. So next, we just want to make sure that we twist this little needle and get that rubber all cleaned off. And a lot of times the ethanol will corrode this aluminum. This one's fine. So next we'll slip that into the float like this. We'll let that hang, and then we'll drop this float in. That we'll put the pin back in. And the float bowl locks the pin. I just blew all this out. Looks good. We'll give it a little twist like that. We'll grab the bolt. I gotta find my 10mm wrench. I found it. Alright, that's good. I think we are ready to go back on. It does look like there's a little bit of stuff here. Okay. So this is going to be kind of tricky because we probably should have left this gasket on, and there's some dirt right here. That's a big gasket. So a lot of times carburetors have studs, but not this one. So I think what we'll do, what we're going to do is first we got to put all this linkage back on. Don't get any twists on this spring. Okay, so that's back on. Next, we'll put all the bolts and everything in this thing and put it back on. So I'm going to spray this off a little bit. It's kind of dirty. So I think how we're going to do this is I'm going to grab these two bolts, start them through here. Grab this gasket. I'm going to blow it off. That goes on this way. Yep, that's correct. We're going to slide the carburetor on. We're going to slide this gasket on. We're going to slide our fuel hose on. I'm just thinking, you know, since we've gone to this far, let's drain the gas. So I'm going to go get a pan. I don't know how much is in there, but let's just drain it out since we've done this much. So this is going to take a little while. It doesn't look that bad. Somebody put fresh gas in there and it wouldn't start. So I did figure out why I'm so busy with lawnmowers. The other day, a lady brought in her leaf blower. It's an older Roby one, but she brought it she's from a different town, but she brought it to the only place from her town that'll fix them. They get $145 an hour. They put some new fuel lines on there, and they didn't get it right. They still charged her, and they didn't get it running, and it was leaking gas. Or that has mixed gas, so it was leaking out. I fixed it. I don't get $145 an hour. I may be raising my rates, but right now I'm at 30. So I charge the same for lawnmowers as I do for cars, and I charge $30 an hour for cars too. If you got anything over a 1500, she's 50. Alright guys, I'm going to drain this gas. I'll get right back. Alright, the valve's open. Gas is drained. I'm ready to get this thing back together. If the oil looks good at all, I'm leaving it because that's something the customer can do. If it looks dark, we're going to change it. But let's continue on and get this carburetor back on there. Alright, I got the fuel hose back on. Alright, the breather hose is back on. The gaskets are there. Everything's lined up. I'm just going to grab my nut driver. There we go. I even got one of my small engines. It's a Briggs. It's actually the one. I don't know if it has the oil drain on it. Yeah, I think it does. But that engine, the throttle shaft likes to stick. So that's my next point after we get this on. We want to make sure the throttle is free. Alright, I'm just going to give them a slight snugging with my mini ratchet. Alright, that feels good. I think we missed something. I think I got the choke on the wrong side. Something, it's not working. They should have put studs on this one. Alright, we gotta start over now. Yep, so I had the choke. Gotta make sure that the choke's on the right side of this lever. Gotta line everything back up. I think I got it, I'm not sure. Yeah, we got it this time. Alright, next I want to make sure the throttle is clear. So the governor is right here. Yep, the throttle is nice and free. Alright, let's blow this air filter out and get this cover back on there. So first I'll blow it out this way. I'll blow it up more over there. Maybe down. So once I blow it out, you know, the way it filters, then I'll just blow it every direction. Well, that's good enough. So we'll put it back in there like that. And it's got a hinge here. There we go. The little tab we fixed is holding. Next, let's check the spark plug. We got a little twig in here. Let's blow around it. Let's twist and pull the wire off. That was easy. So we got an MGK. It looks good. So it's not focusing, but whatever. I'll give her a little snug by hand. And that's good. Put this wire back on. I'll just leave this here. Let's check that oil. Yeah, I think we'll change it. It looks alright. It smells alright, but it's just a slightly dark. And it seems to be extra over full. So maybe some gas had running in it. I don't know. Let's change it. So I'm gonna let it down because we gotta tip the mower up over. So I already checked. This takes 10W30. I don't have any Honda oil on hand, but I do have some. I think it's John Deere. So I have some John Deere 10W30 turf guard. This will be just fine. So we're gonna put this in. So I'm just gonna get a pan. We'll unscrew this. Set that off to the side. I'm just gonna grab the side of this like this. I did spill a little bit. Alright guys, I'm happy with changing that oil, or draining it. So let's flip it back over, if I can. I made a little bit of a mess. Alright, so I got some turf guard for John Deere. I think I just said that. It's 10W30. And that's what this engine is, a Honda CV160. It takes 1030. Alright, I think I'm just going to put just a little bit more in, but I'm not sure if you're supposed to just dip it or screw it. To be on the safe side, we're dipping. So we're full now. Alright, I'm going to leave the camera going and I'm going to set the camera outside and I'm going to walk this thing out there and we're going to mow. I'm gonna go get that thing. Took a couple pulls, but the carburetor was empty. I got it. Alright guys, there you go. That's getting your lawnmower that's sat for a couple years all going. Not too bad anybody could do that, so. Alright guys, I just wanted to come back on and show you the socket set just a little bit better. So they're all 6-point. So we got a long 10mm. We got a medium 10mm. We got a swivel. We got a magnetic 10mm short. A 10mm short. So these 5 are all 3/8 drive. So then we go to a long 10mm, and that's a 1/4 inch drive, and it's got a nice little shank there. So do these two. And then a 10mm swivel. And this swivel is a little bit long here. It does look like it's like 5/16 of an inch deep. So you could shave that off just a little bit. I got a couple 10mm swivels in 1/4 inch, so I'll just leave it. And this is a nice tapered down shank short 10mm 1/4 inch drive, and then a magnetic 1/4 inch drive. So the two magnetics are like impact grade. So yeah, so I keep this in my one of my toolboxes over there. And then if I'm in a hurry, I just grab this set, because then I know I got everything. So yeah, I'll put a link down in the description. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys learned something on fixing that lawnmower today. It was pretty easy. It's just straightforward. Anybody can do it. So we got her all running. It took a couple pulls to get started. I don't know why, but it just did, and now it starts right up on the first pull. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something, and you can catch me next time, and I'll see you later.